Oh dear.
We're in.
Yep.
Hello, world.
You can tell we don't do live streams very often. Oh dear. Well, welcome to Wednesday night catch up.
Yeah, Wednesday night if you're in Australia.
Which we are.
Yep.
And everywhere else it should be Wednesday now.
Mm. Yeah, so just waiting to see who we can chat to.
So the purpose for tonight is what?
Well, we just thought we could have a chat, bit of a catch up, and try out this whole live thing because this is new for us. But yeah, we just wanted to give you a little update on how we've been tracking with Glimmer of Hope and the full album coming, which is really exciting.
And also we have some questions from some people that we wanted to answer as well tonight.
Yep. Welcome if you've just joined us. We'd love to hear where you're from, so it doesn't feel like we're talking to ourselves.
All right, so to start with, we got a hi from Julian. Hi,
Hey.
Julian. Where is Julian from? So to start with, we had a little game to kick things off, and if you want to join in, you're welcome. Just a short little would you rather game.
Okay.
So I'm going to start. Jade actually doesn't know these questions that I've got. Okay, no looking.
Oxenford Church, nice.
Oxford.
Oh, Oxford.
Is that in England area, London, UK? Or is that New Zealand?
All of the above.
Okay, so first question, Jade. No looking. Would you...
Hey, Louise. Christchurch. Maybe.
Yeah. Would you rather play only the guitar or only the ukulele for the rest of your life? If you had to choose one.
Guitar, definitely.
Even over the bass ukulele? Baritone ukulele?
Well, it is my favourite instrument at the moment, but I think guitar is a bit more versatile.
Okay. Fine. It's your turn.
I'm not good at this.
Okay, next question. Would you rather only write songs or only sing songs?
Only write or only sing? That's a really hard one. I would have to choose. If I could only choose one, it'd be singing.
Singing?
Yeah. I got one for you.
Okay.
What would you choose for the rest of your life? To only be able to sing or only be able to talk?
Ooh. That's a mean one. Maybe talk, because then you'd have to sing every word you say, which would be embarrassing. Cool. And now we have some context for people that don't know what we're up to.
Yep. Well, we are just about to launch our first single this Friday, which is really exciting. Glimmer of Hope.
Off the album.
Yeah, so Glimmer of Hope is the first track on our full-length album, and it's kind of like a summary of the whole album in a nutshell. We actually asked Jackson, our producer, how would you sum up this whole album in one word? And he said, hopeful.
Hmm.
So I feel like Glimmer of Hope is a really good summary of what this album is going to entail and what it's all about.
So, Glimmer of Hope is the first song of the album. How many songs are on the album?
Well, to begin with, we only had 7, and then we were wrestling with this one song, and while we were wrestling with this one song, then this completely new song came into the picture, and we both really loved it, and we thought this needs to go on the album. So then we still had the 7 songs, and then this kind of questionable song on the side. And then when we got to the studio, what did Jackson say?
The song that we had put on pause, he was like, we have to record that one. It was one of his favorites.
Yeah, so Jackson was really attached to that song. He said, even if we don't finish the song, we at least need to start and see where this goes. And I'm so happy that Jackson did make that request, because now we have 8 songs on the album, and I feel like that one song that almost didn't make it on, which is Scars on My Heart, it has a very special place in playing a part in this whole album called Therapy, because it's a lot of life processing going on through that song, and so really happy it made it on.
We've had a couple more people say hi.
Hey Dulcie, good to see you. Or
Cool. So the album is called what?
Therapy.
That sounds like an interesting name.
Well, that's one question we had from someone, was that they wanted to know why we call the album Therapy. Maybe, do you want to answer that question?
Well, the album is basically a collection of stories in songs. And some of the stories are ours, some of them are other people's, but there are enough of ours that we can relate to what we're singing about. So therapy does have a lot of kind of deep topics like trauma and grief, loss, sadness, but also really happy ones like connection, love, peace. Kind of the wrestle that we all find ourselves in this life. There's a whole lot of beauty mixed with pain.
I feel like this album starts at a very low place, like very dark place, but then, as you've said, like therapy is all about recovery, restoration, and that's what this album does. It hopefully we leave you on a really high note. But we're really excited about it. That's why we've called this album Therapy, and it's been really therapeutic for us to write these songs and process just life through these songs. And it's our prayer that these songs can be the same for you. It can be a healing experience, a healing process.
Another question that we had was, what's the inspiration for the song Glimmer of Hope?
The inspiration. Well, this song was written after I had a conversation with a close friend of mine about some hidden struggles in his life that I had no idea about. And he kind of started opening up to me, and I was really touched by what he was saying. And I also resonated in my own way. And I guess after that conversation, I just felt really heavy. And this song was birthed the same day. Like, this song just started flowing out of me, and it was basically just a prayer. Like, I've been searching and I've been seeking, and it seems like you're nowhere to be found. And I'll do anything just to see you. If I close my eyes, will I see you now? So, and then the chorus, obviously, just give me a glimmer of hope again, save me from all my wandering. If I've been looking in all the wrong places, would you turn me back around again? yeah, so Glimmer of Hope is a prayer inspired by a close conversation. Yeah.
And what do you want people to get from, I guess, Glimmer of Hope? What's the message?
Yeah. What would you say?
One big one for me was it's okay to ask questions. Yeah, I think God is big enough to handle questions, and sometimes we're afraid to ask questions because we feel like we're somehow being maybe distrustful or doubting or whatever it might be. But I think it's good to ask questions and be honest with how you're feeling.
Totally.
And I think this song and the album is a very honest, a collection of honest questions and stories, not trying to put on a fake, persona.
Yep. What was the question again?
What do you hope to achieve with Glimmer of Hope? What do you want people to get from it?
Yeah, I guess just from what you're saying as well, like we want people to be able to be as authentic and honest as you possibly can with your walk with God. Ask the big questions and like reason together with God and wrestle these things out in a sacred way of relationship. That's our hope. That it can just inspire honesty, and through that honesty, you can become honest with yourself, honest with God, honest with those you do life with.
Yep. We have somebody else. Is it Pariwesh? Welcome.
Hey.
Feel free to tell us where you're from. So last question is, what is your process of creating a song?
What's your process?
Usually my process, or always, is usually an event that happens that's very touching, whether in a joyful way or in a more sadder way. A touching event, a deep event, and then there's a whole lot of feelings surrounding that, and you write it down. And usually the melody comes at the same time as I'm writing, or it could be you read something amazing and then you get inspired with thoughts from what you've read, or what someone has said, or
I think I'm much the same. Oh, hello from India. Welcome.
Namaste.
I guess my writing process is much the same. Like, I'd say all of these songs on this album that is coming, all of these songs have come from life-defining moments for me. And I guess my process is writing down. Most of the time it's just like a few words. It might just be one line, and I just sit with that. I just leave that in my notes on my phone, and then I come back to it. And sometimes it comes in 5 minutes, sometimes it takes years, but I wouldn't say I have an exact process for writing. It just, sometimes a melody comes first, sometimes, and I guess embedded in that melody is the emotion that you're feeling about that moment in time. So I think music is very, it's based in emotion. Like it's an expression of emotion, whether it be instrumental or whether it be through lyrics. You can't leave emotion out of that, and that's where all of our songs really come from.
It's like painting a picture, but in sounds. And so if you're painting a picture, you would use shadows and darker colors to show a certain mood, or you'd use yellows and reds and blues to portray cheerful, kind of happy colors.
Mm.
And with sounds, we do the same, but we use like cellos, violins, piano. It's kind of like painting a picture.
Yeah.
In sounds. Cool. So that was kind of our little chat about Glimmer of Hope. It's coming out this Friday on all the music streaming platforms. And we also have what coming out on YouTube on Friday?
This Friday we have the music video for Glimmer of Hope, which was a lot of fun putting together.
We had to get in very cold water several times to make this.
Past dark as well.
Past dark.
It was cold. I mean, we don't have much of a winter here on the Gold Coast, but let me tell you, this was cold.
Yep, we were shivering. So I think you would have seen some of that from the trailer, us getting smashed by a few waves. We had so much sand in our ears and in our hair. Like, we had sand coming out of our clothes for days, even after washing them. So that's coming out on Friday. You'll get to see that, which is really exciting. But what's coming after Glimmer of Hope?
After Glimmer of Hope, well, I think we can let you guys on the exact date for the album, seeing that you've showed up here. So the date that the full album will be dropping is the 18th of August. Yeah, not far away. We have so much work to do in the meantime, but yeah, so excited.
So for all of our Kickstarter backers, for those of you who don't know, we ran a Kickstarter back in February, and we got funding over $24,000 from our listeners and people that love our music, wanted to support us. So that helped us to be able to launch into the recording. We went down to the studio in April, and we were there for 2 weeks recording. And ever since April, we've just been
non-stop.
Yep, getting tracks back, getting mixed versions, edits and drafts and all that.
And it's, I guess, what I've really appreciated, working with Jackson, is that he's obsessed with music and he's just an incredible producer. But also he wanted us to be able to live with our songs, just us two, for a time being, so that we can really make sure that these songs are sitting right with us. And that's just been a really fun time as well. Most nights we'll just listen through the songs, and and now they're finished. Today was the signing off day for this whole album, and I just still can't believe we did this. It's incredible.
Yep. A lot of people made this happen, so we're very grateful.
So if you were a part of our Kickstarter backers, expect the album to be coming
earlier than the 18th. We don't have a specific date, but it's definitely earlier than the 18th. Maybe a week earlier, because you guys are the VIPs. So we do have that exciting news. But also is that we were able to do a live concert last weekend in Brisbane, which was exciting for those of you guys who came. And we have some more coming up. So
let us know if you would like us to do a concert near you, and we'll do our best to make that happen.
We know Louise is going to be saying, yes, come to Christchurch. No. But I think that's everything that we wanted to chat about.
Maybe if you guys had any questions, or if you want to talk about something, let us know in the chat.
Or you can leave comments as well on the video. We will reply back. Yeah. Louise said yes. Awesome.
Well, this has been so much fun, guys. Doing a live is really new for us. We're both, for the most part, introverts, but this has been good.
Yeah.
Just like, I guess for us, sometimes it feels, in the whole kind of digital world, it can feel like a really lonely place. Like, we put out these songs and yeah, there's like, I guess most of the time it feels like there's this big disconnection. Like, you pour out your heart on something and then send it out to the internet. But it's nice to be able to connect with people. I mean, face to face would be better, but yeah, I guess this is the next best thing.
Cool.
So yeah, thanks for coming, and yeah, would love to meet you guys in person someday, hopefully.
And yeah, you can chat with us on YouTube or Instagram, or go to our website and send us an email. Any of those. Cool.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
See ya.